Kilpailussa mukana Ramirent. Kotikatsomon eväät tarjoaa Kotipizza.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more disc golf media coverage. We are here at the fifth stop, the final event of the Prodigy Disc Pro Tour. We've got Tampere Disc Golf Park, Round 1 MPO feature card, back 9 coverage. I'm Tony Ferro.
And with him, Connor Wood, with a little bit of rain in the prior day. The conditions are wet here, but not actively raining. These guys are attacking the course at every opportunity they can. But this is a pro-level course, no doubt, as we see the difficulty on some of these holes with slightly imperfect conditions. It really is a fun challenge to watch these guys approach as we take a look at the standings. Currently tied in first at 4 under through the front 9, we have Joona, Piri, Juho, and right behind them tied at fourth, 3 under, Rasmus, Lucas, Samuel, and Paavo. It's still a tight round. A lot of golf to play.
No doubt, and we are gonna start heading into the woods now, if we haven't already. But as you can see, hole 10, par 3, 118 meters through a tunnel. Not much to say, because you can see, you just keep it straight and keep going straight. And wait, if you didn't think that you were going straight enough already, you keep going straight. And then you're here at the basket, 118 meters. I hope you got a disc that doesn't fade.
So when do I turn left or right on this hole?
Yeah. When you're done with the hole and you go to the next hole, then you turn left or right.
All right, we have Joona up first with absolutely a disc with some understability. Had the hyzer release, but overturned it a little bit more than flat, and he'll find himself on that right side obstructed short putt. Rather long putt, but short and right obstructed.
Oh, I like that flip up from Jesse, but it's going to fade a little early. Sit.
But come on, he didn't hit a thing.
It's gorgeous. I mean, he's just inside the circle. That is absolutely stunning.
To see the unobstructed full flight on hole 10 really is something.
Well, I mean, you can see these guys are giving it a rip. It's still 118 meters. You got to throw the disc.
But a fantastic kick there out, actually, for Joonas. He was looking like he was in trouble, and he got kicked right to dead center fairway.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but this is looking pretty if it holds. Yeah, but that looks casual. That's casual. Little deep, but man, getting clean down this whole fairway has to be a victory in itself.
There's no doubt. As Joonas gives a great bid from very long, far out, likely edge of circle 2, if not more. And Joona now will see what he has to work with on this short right obstructed tree line. Just floats one over the top with the Anheuser forehand. Beautiful angle control.
Absolute lovely scramble from that sidearm. Here we go. Birdie look. Just a little low for Daniel. But he's right there for par. Not bad.
No doubt, but Daniel has yet to find his first birdie of round 1. Going par through holes 1 and 7, bogeying 8 and 9. He sits at 2 over. I think he really wants to find one of these. He's been giving himself chance after chance at the birdie, and unfortunately hasn't been able to find them. I think Daniel will be working towards those as soon as he can. Joona now for his 3.
I mean, I totally agree. You could be birdieless on this course. This course can do that to you. There are a few holes, yes, that you probably should have gotten, but going birdie free is not, it's probably more common than people think on this course.
I would agree. Given the trees, given the tricky greens, there's just a few holes that you really don't demand something very specific and very challenging.
Well, here we go again. Hole 11, par 3, 132 meters. in a tunnel of trees. And look at the shape of this. You are curving left to right in a U. I mean, what do you gotta do here? I mean, my guess, roller, if you could do it. I don't know if this ground is gonna be able to hold it up, or the most understable, biggest panning Anheuser ever.
I don't see anything. You'd have to throw it so high to get that long rightwards flight to make it all the way there.
I mean,
the discussion we're having is what you need to birdie this hole.
It's like an MTA
direct
throw. Like MTA's maximum time aloft, like the biggest flight possible in the air. And usually that's a really just like a frisbee disc thrown really straight up in the air. And it just goes up and then it comes back at you kind of a deal. But, yeah.
See, Joona had a good flight, looked to have turned it over. He did catch a branch that slowed him down, but he had a lot of rightwards play. Jesse going for forehand, kicked off the inside, connected a little bit early and kicked, I believe, out left. It should open up his angle, but he did not get too much distance. Still a tricky save.
Do you
Joonas
think there
now
could be a Simon line to the right, like just cutting through the trees sideways?
See, that's what I was thinking. The only way to really get there would be, I guess the trees look too tall to go over the top.
Yeah.
But if you were to throw directly at the basket.
I mean, look at that right there, just in front of Daniel there. It seems almost like maybe, but who wants to try it?
In tournament play, just irresponsible. Look at this.
He did it.
Daniel with the huge
He did
turnover. He did it. He pans out right at the end to flatten out, fade back left into the fairway, avoiding the tree line. He is putting for birdie on hole 11 here.
Dang. Come on, Daniel. This would be the birdie to start the round. Let's go.
Jesse with a big scramble hyzer forehand as well to get out of the trees. Good upshot by him from a tricky position.
Yeah, Joona with a nice little flex sidearm.
Very casual looking.
Mm-hmm. Like it was wide open.
Joonas had a good turnover, but it was just a little bit too tight. Didn't get the pan out at the end. And after a bit of plinko there with the trees, he's got an edge of circle putt for par.
That was a good double tap off the trees. It looked like it was way too wide out of the hand, and then got a kick. But I think those two white trees behind him saved him.
As we see if he takes advantage. Fantastic putt.
What a
Good
par save.
No doubt. We see these guys now just within the circle, about 8 meters. And we have Jesse up first for his par save. Very solid. Good scramble off. His first shot put him in a very tough position.
That is true.
That's it. That's, I think, after that first shot, the best result he could have hoped for. We see here now Daniel, not only for his first potential birdie of the round, but the only one on this feature card.
Come on, boy. We are all rooting for you. Let's go.
Incredible. To get your first birdie at Tampere on hole 11 of all the holes, that is crazy stuff. Well done, Daniel. Great throw, great putt.
Sure crazy. But we got a birdie on this card. I love it.
There we go. Because we were almost theorizing how it might be possible to birdie this at the beginning, and Daniel just walks up and shows us exactly how it's done.
Well, he does rock some pretty flippy discs.
And he rocks them well.
I agree. Well, here's another birdie to get. Hole 12, par 3, 89 meters. Is just got a few trees in the way, but if you just throw it perfectly straight and miss this tree right there in the mid-screen, then you can get on the green and you'd be awesome.
Yeah, I definitely think some lower speed discs here at 90 meters through with the trees.
It
Maybe a
kinda
slightly
looks downhill.
gummier baseline plastic.
And they're all just looking like, yeah, which is the line?
Where's the basket?
Yeah.
Behind that tree.
I mean, it's true. It's just that one tree right in the middle of the fairway just blocking you.
Look at that from Daniel. Now he's picking up some speed, has the momentum off the birdie on 11, throws a clean shot unobstructed the whole way up to the green.
Oh, yeah. And he's well in the circle for his second birdie of the round. Joona flipping a putter over. Going deep. That was gorgeous, though. Holy cow. And that'll be circle's edge, maybe 12 meters max.
I think that line from him was picture perfect for the backhand right-handed player.
Yeah,
See,
you just
yes,
got to
I-
pick left or right of that tree. And
Yeah.
it seems like they're all picking left and curving it in, and it seems to be the
And-
right idea.
Joonas even had the height to be a legitimate ace run if it were to turn over just a tad more. It was really chain height flying past the basket. Yese going sliding up underneath it. And Joonas
No.
catching a few more troubles on his early release backhand.
And
He
that
will
is
still have
way
some work to
early.
do.
That is not even
Not an
out of
easy
the
upshot.
initial gap. You can see here he goes.
Looks like he's throwing right at
Yeah.
camera person there.
Camera guy. Oh, okay. I was like, does he know what he's doing?
Deceptive angle, but a great shot.
All right, Joona up for his birdie. Stepper. Oh, come on.
I think his timing didn't quite click there. It looks like it came out of his hand a bit early.
Yeah,
and
it
never
was,
had the height.
It was just, yeah, it was not a good timing. I would totally agree on that.
Daniel, a bit
go.
low, but puts himself back to par now after riding the streak, catching a few bogeys. He now catches a few birdies and writes himself back to even.
That's the way. He's right back in the fight.
Only one behind Joonas currently, who looks to be having a short par putt. We have Joona up first, though, for his par putt as well.
There you go.
Good confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Joonas for his 3, catching the early gap and then getting a good scramble upshot to save his par now. Oh, a bit high, but
there.
in is in.
All right, and a nice, easy cleanup for Yese. Get him under par for the round.
Oh, I was gonna
Why do
say,
I do these things? This is the second time I said something like that. And
Look, no
I'm
putt
gonna
is a
stop
given.
now.
No putt is a given.
I'm just going to stop.
I was even going to mention that I really appreciated that he took a
Took his
moment,
time, right?
took
Yeah, I
his
was
time
gonna
and thought
say
about
as
his
well.
putt and didn't
Yeah.
just say, oh, this is an easy birdie. What was that, 6
Nyt
meters?
on mistä valita. Kebab, seitan sekä toiveuutuudet, kana ja härkäpapu. Raikkaamme hevät rullat kotipizzan tapaan. Vaikka mukaan matkaan tai lounaaksi. Kotipizzasta.
Hole 13. 152 meter par 3. I can't even say that with a straight face. When you look at this fairway, what are you gonna do? Just throw it as straight and as hard as you possibly can and get through all of these trees. Then, if you're lucky enough to have done that, hope your disc starts fading left, skipping through, getting up. I mean, yeah. What else do you want for number 13? For the lucky
Right.
13.
Given the amount of trees and the distance required, maybe not on a soggy day like today, is there any roller line potentially at play here?
Possibly, but then you've got all those tree roots and bumps in the ground. It's really not the kind of ground you want to throw a roller on.
And that looked like a perfect throw from Daniel, and he's about 20 to 30 meters short, but just pured the fairway.
See, I think you got to take the left gap, but that's
And flex
not,
it out.
Yeah, if you really want to get... I mean, come on, this is 152 meters
Yeah.
in a tunnel. I mean,
Daniel had a nearly perfect hyzer flip that looked to have gone about 120, 125. This...
yeah, but you're not
I
going to
don't know,
fade
it's
right
just-
at the end.
And you have to beat so many trees on that end rightwards fade with the forehand flex. It's very demanding. We see Joonas now. Also looking for that hyzer flip release.
I mean, this
Very
looks
high,
great,
tons of glide.
but it's 2 nose up and definitely not enough on it.
But he's up there with Daniel at about that 20, 25, 30 meter
Yeah, I mean,
range for a birdie. I mean, just to have a look on this hole alone means you threw a great shot.
yeah, I mean 130 through the woods, just dead straight. Like, can't ask for much more, but
Wow.
you need 150 here.
And Joona is displaying again a very casual looking forehand scramble approach, just the little flex. I think the same disc as earlier. We see Jesse looking for less of a flex and more of just a long turnover, and gets slapped down by one of those guardian trees, a little bit of a rollaway. He'll be left with a circle 2 par save.
You know, I mean, you could almost call this a soft par 4.
Daniel for his birdie. Unfortunately, comes out a little bit low as he step releases. The rain now, you can hear it beginning to fall.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah.
is Joonas.
Big jump putt. Come on. Ooh, that had
Oh,
a
no.
great line on it, too.
It would be such a good hole to get the birdie. Such a separator to have a 152 meter par 3 through this density of woods. It
Was
really
there
would.
a birdie?
Oh, Jesse with a
What a
beautiful putt.
par. Wow.
On hole 13, we had 3 birdies today. One more than hole 1, which only had 2.
Holy cow.
3
That's-
people managed to find it here today at Tampere.
Well, you 3, congratulations. That is an amazing feat because
That is an incredible birdie.
this is a mission to get through this hole. with
I think
2 strokes
many
holding.
people around the world would be happy to just call this outright a par 4.
Just back the basket up a little ways or throw it in the woods a little bit more and it's par 4. Easy. But we'll move on.
Oh, we got one more par 4 here. Tell us about it.
Yes, hole 14, 172 meters. Again, you got that tunnel shot off the tee, slightly right to left. Then you're going to come more to the left here as we head down the fairway. Just got that big, huge evergreen in the way to set yourself up for this wide open green.
And I'm really excited to see Jesse's shot off the tee here. I think that there is potential for a turnover forehand shape that gets way down there. As we see, what most players will opt for is just simply a backhand hyzer.
Mm-hmm. Get yourself out of the woods, out the gap, and then you just deal with that blind approach. Probably, I don't know, 95?
Probably, yeah. I was going to say 100 left after
Yeah.
that. Just the simple hyzer to beat the corner, hit the gap. A great example as well there by Joona. Those two hitting very similar lines. Now, I think he's going to go for it. Let's see. If he can get the long leftwards turnover shot at the right time and then fade out.
It's turning. It's
Oh,
fading.
it didn't hold the turn
Oh,
as
it
long
caught-
as I think
yeah.
him or I wanted, but there's a good spot. He did get a little break from that evergreen there.
Yeah, I didn't notice the leaves flying at first off the screen, but it seemed like he caught a little cabbage coming out of the forest. Oy, but that was way inside. But great kick out for Joonas. Holy cow. That could have been just absolute jail.
And Joonas has had some great throws today, but his biggest struggles have been recurringly hitting the small gaps off the tee here. It's quite a few holes where he's just bled a stroke or two hitting an early obstacle. That's looking like a great flight.
Super solid backhand, but... and look at that again. Just catching a tree and just rolling back out into the fairway.
I think that was enough distance to give him a pretty stress-free par from there after his early obstacle. Joona
Park
getting
job.
a beautiful fade. Wow.
Holy cow, that was awesome.
I thought for a second he had thrown it a bit too straight, but there you go. That is bullseye all day.
Oh, Daniel going around the other side of the trees, but that did not look to have worked out.
I can appreciate that from there. That gap did look quite good for the approach, given
It
his
seemed
position.
like he had to get underneath them, though, to get in there.
Yesay doing the same thing. I agree. I think you need a bit of ground play here to push the rightwards distance under the gap, just like that.
Oh, yeah, no, look at that.
Even throwing it deep off the skip. Really nice shot from Yesay there, showing us that line right as we were discussing it. And Joonas with a big Annie step putt.
But solid. From the tee shot, a par's no big deal. If you don't get out of that gap, you're pretty much saying goodbye to the birdie.
Agreed. Daniel says goodbye to his birdie there.
Dang it.
Just a little bit too low.
Solid
Off the
effort,
knee?
though.
Absolutely. Low ceiling off the knee like that. Very tricky to get that nose up height. We see Yesay now for his birdie. Great
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
All right. Got some
Like I
fans
mentioned, I think
in
the forehand
crowd.
off the tee here, as the gallery pops off, I think the forehand off the tee here has the most potential.
I would agree. I mean, it's not the easiest shot to execute.
Oh,
but
absolutely not. Incredibly difficult and specific angle.
There we go. All right.
Joona feels the love, gets a fantastic birdie here on 14 along with Yesay, as Joonas and Daniel tap in their pars.
All right. Got another par 4 coming up. Hole 15. 219 meters. Once again, we are still in the woods going through the tunnel. Slight left to right off the fairway as we are coming out of the gap. We've got this nice little pond again. Got to get over that pond, through a couple more trees, and once again, man, look at this green. In the woods, got this grassy green.
Such a
tiered
mean
up on
barrier.
a level. I mean, good luck getting through these shots.
We have Joona up first, putting together a very strong round one at 5 under.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness. Double tap
Wow.
back in the fair. That was not supposed to happen. That
Praise be, that was a beautiful result off a missed release.
can't even believe that just worked out for him.
Yesay finding most of the gaps there on the left side with his forehand hyzer shape. Looks to have also kicked back inwards. Daniel, I think, going to go for that big turnover flight here.
Ooh, look to be a little early out of the hand. Is it going to squeak through? Cut roll. It seems okay. Might have a couple trees to deal with right out of the hand, but otherwise it shouldn't be too bad.
I would agree. We see Joonas now looking for a very similar shape. Has kept it more left of the fairway on the release, but caught a branch on its way. Could not complete the full flight.
Yeah, just too much anhyzer. You really have to hold it a bit softer, Annie, and the entire time.
Or a bit of a slower turn. He had a very fast
Yeah,
turning disc.
exactly. Yeah, just the soft fade on it and never let it come out.
As we see there, the pre-pond pitch up. Put
Yes,
himself
sir.
up there, but unable to bite off too much distance with that water feature dividing the fairway.
Oh.
Yesay throwing into a puddle.
That'll be a fun stance from there. Okay, I think Joona's going for it. Oh, well, he's over the pond.
It's definitely going to be the furthest off his second on this card.
Yeah. It didn't look like he was really going for it, but...
I would agree. I think given that wall that prevents the slide up on the low shot up to the green, I think it's still just a placement, although over the pond.
That's the shot to get up to the...
And there's the wall.
Yeah. And then you're outside the circle still. You know, I mean...
Putting uphill with a tree in your way.
It's a vicious green, but it's amazing.
But I really can appreciate these holes where when you do get the birdie, it means you've earned it. It means you've thrown some incredible shots or some incredible putts. Likely both.
Yes. Likely both, because you're needing 2 times 110 off the tee and off of your second, and that's asking a lot through the woods, through curves and OBs and water and up and down. I mean,
there's just so much danger on all sides. See
every
Joona with a
birdie
nice...
has to be earned here.
Absolutely. Joona with a nice floaty approach there. And that's what we were mentioning about Daniel, who was just riding par for a long time. It's not a bad place to be here.
Not at all. I mean, we can see here on the scores, hasn't changed much since the front 9. You know,
That's a good point. Just 1-2 strokes difference from where they started this back 9 here.
You know, I mean, with UC's developing style, it's just, you know, you're going to have a few probably at the end that you're going to get, but there's going to be a tough finish as well. And so it's going to be a pure mixture of everything.
Oh, there we go.
What a par save.
That was incredible by Jesse. What a putt from the wall.
I mean, that's 13, 14 meters, slightly uphill. That's
Plays like
great.
15 easily.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Daniel now.
Come on, match him. That
Oh,
up, boy,
gets the
for
birdie here on hole 15.
I thought that was for birdie. Holy cow, that's awesome.
That is fantastic. His second shot to slide up to the wall and then make that putt for birdie.
He's getting
Ice
some of the
cold.
special ones, man. This is...
He
he's
really
putting
is.
together
Between
the
11
back
and 15
nine.
alone, that's just incredible. And he had a look at 13 as well for birdie.
For sure. And he is really... The back 9 is becoming his little one to take down.
And Joona there taking the par. Daniel was one of 3 people in the field to birdie this hole today. So really fortunate that we could see that on coverage.
So much better. Thank you.
Hole 16. Here we go with a big boy par 5. 284 meters. Gonna have that OB right off of the tee, all along the fairway. Really just want to keep it in the middle. It is pretty wide fairway for the par 5. It's not too far. Gonna just set yourself up with 2 big drives and then get this third one fading in slightly left to right. Can see there's like a beach area off to the left, I believe. But all in all, shouldn't be too difficult of a task for the birdie.
Certainly doable, but needing power and precision on every throw. Your first 3 really have to be big, accurate bombs. We'll see now. Joona getting a little bit more turn, but perhaps too much. But he connects with a tree that may have saved him from going OB right. Tough to say. That may have been a fortunate kick for him.
I could agree. I mean, I really feel the thing here is to just try not to bite off too much right away. If you're trying to get crazy shot off the tee or something to get that extra D, it's usually when you get into trouble. You're only dealing with a couple 2 times 110, 115 meter shots, and then you have a pretty easy approach to deal with.
I would definitely agree. And although that's a great shot, I am surprised to see these guys throwing more flex lines when I think it's more of just a straight shot off the tee, more of a hyzer flip. But regardless, they do want the distance, and they do have to fight the tunnel. We'll see what Jesse is left with now.
Debating if they're thinking eagle or so, but that would be a tall task for an eagle, I think.
Oh, you would require 2 140s through the woods, I think. Short of a throw-in, that's unlikely.
You know, I mean, I think if they got a really strong tee shot and then got to that corner and then got to rip another one like that, maybe, but birdie would be just so easy on this hole, just to keep it in the fairway, in the middle.
Just throw 70, 80 meter shots down the middle of the fairway, or 110 like Daniel there.
I was going to say, I mean, these guys have easy
bombs.
110, 120 on a hyzer, soft hyzer with probably any disc out of their bag almost. And if you just tone it down and just think of it that way, this hole shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, this fairway is huge compared to what you've been dealing with the entire day.
Some people at home may disagree with your use of the word huge there, but definitely forgiving relative to Tampere, given the context. I like this. The forehand on the last approach, I thought shaped really nicely. Yes, just catching that last little backline guardian, and he'll have an edge of circle birdie putt.
Yeah, this is a very cool hole, though. Even a little downhill coming into this green. I like it. Ooh, a little flexor from Daniel. This looks perfect. Just sit.
Great up.
Oh yeah, squeaking a little long. Green looks to be kind of fast. Kind of no grass anymore there. But
I thought the same. That's a sparse patch of fast ground there, whereas the rest of this course has been very grabby so far.
Oh yeah. Ooh, look at that.
That's one way to use the fast ground.
That is a tap-in birdie for Joona. Much needed.
Joonas looking for the same. We'll see if he can control that ground play.
Oof.
Almost skips it in. Goes just a little bit long to that patch of grass at the back right. Probably a 6-7 meter putt. We got Jesse up now for his birdie.
Oh, just a tad low on that birdie putt.
Great birdie there for Joonas.
I'm
Almost
loving this
skipped it
guy
in
in
for
the
eagle.
crowd, though.
The hype man.
Yeah, I got to keep the players motivated, you know. That guy could change your round. Oh, no.
Oh, Daniel just again low on the putt.
That was just horrid timing out of the hand there. He never got his arm up over the cage. It was never going to go in.
That was for birdie as these guys tap it in. Tony, I was being a bit coy earlier. There was one eagle today on this hole. Congratulations to Lassi Keheri, who took the 3.
Boy, that's a tough task. That's 2 big shots. 2 big shots coming up here on hole 17. As we can see, this tee shot is tight. You got to get it through that gap. That is the first goal. Make it out of that gap. Then it kind of opens up here as we dogleg right. You're going to start heading up the hill. It'll come a bit more to the right, and we'll be on this spine. Got roll-away potential all over the place. Super tough hole, but you can get the birdie here. You just got to make it through this first gap. Oh, man.
And then land a soft upshot, another good 80, 90 meters to a tiny little plateau. That's a great shot there from Joona.
Awesome.
That if you could walk and place your disc on the fairway where you want to land, that's about it.
I mean, maybe 10, 15 meters further will get you a little bit
maybe
straighter.
rightwards, but
who cares? If you get through, who cares? That's
forehand.
so lucky.
Wow, will naturally shape up really nicely around the corner if you hit the gap.
He missed the gap. He totally missed the gap. And he got lucky. Like crazy
Cheeky
lucky.
smile. You saw he knew it.
There's a clean shot. That is perfect. Just going a little low. Didn't get the skip out like he would want, but who cares? You're out of the gap.
And I do really like the use of a low height in the tunnel shots with the trees. You see yesterday there, unfortunately, hanging onto that forehand a little bit long.
Well, we already had 3 of them go perfect through the gap. I thought I was going to eat my words, but...
Wow, I did not see how that happened. I thought I heard multiple tree connects.
I think he forehand rollered and like kind of shimmied a tree a little bit off the side, and then it just cut. It just kind of did a cut roll out and didn't get quite the D he wanted, but he's pretty much out of the gap, which is better than nothing.
Which is what you need from where he was. I'm sure that will go a long way. We see Joona now. Daniel just with his backhand. Similar mistake to Joona, although a bit further down. They both bled out the left side of the fairway. Not quite enough turn. It is playing uphill, so needing perhaps a touch more understability than you would on flat ground for a similar shape.
Well, yeah, and you don't want to go sidearm into the green because you'll fade too hard and you'll go into the woods. So they're all trying to go backhand way wide left and try to get it to pan, flatten out, and go straight, and then land soft on the ground, which is, I mean, it's as hard as I just said it was. You know, I mean, that's hard to even talk about it. And
do you think it's a hyzer release that flips up to flat and lands soft, or is it an overstable disc that's forced over out of the hand that might pan and flatten out at the end?
I think it's a stable disc. If it was a flat shot, it would be an overstable disc that you force over and it pans out. But since you're going uphill, you already have overstability with the nose angle up. So you need something a little bit less stable to hold the ante for longer and then pan out late as it starts slowing down, which makes the shot twice as difficult as it would be.
Absolutely. We see all these guys contending with this hard-packed earth. Little hill, some of them sliding a bit long, some a bit off to the side. We see our first putt here on hole 17. Oh, and our first birdie. What a putt.
That is huge. He capitalized off that lucky break off the tee. Had a great approach shot, but still outside the circle. Cashes the death putt. Man, that was huge.
He is now 2 under as we head towards 18 for him at least. Yesterday still with some work here on 17. A good bogey save given his first shot. Kicked backwards off first available. Good scramble to make his way up and out, up towards the green, approach, and then make his putt. Tricky.
Joona up for his par, I believe.
I think so.
Yes.
Solid putt as usual.
Hey, par is solid. That's all you can say. Par is solid.
Daniel also taking the bogey, having some troubles off his second shot onwards. He is back to even.
Let's finish it out. Hole 18, iconic looking hole. Holy cow. Par 3, 107 meters. Not that far. Elevated tee, elevated basket, but look at this green. There was so much work put into building this green up. I mean, this was designed exactly like this, obviously. You don't see something like this naturally. So hard to land on. And just a fun fact, last year, Vaino Makala aced this hole.
Heyo. So you see 107 meters playing a little bit downhill. Given the slopes, they want something that lands very soft and flat. And that is it, folks. The hyzer flip up to flat with what looked to be the putter and just landing it very gently down. Delivery to the basket.
And Joona trying to do the same, but it's looking to be hyzer and out. And that is a very, very uphill putt.
Daniel now with the forehand line. He has shown those low lasers to be quite effective as we see him hit the hill here. Great result. I hope that puts him back to under par for this round when he makes the putt there, because he has been up and down. It's nice to see him put it together now. Jesse also sitting at even, could be the momentum he needs to get under par. Oh
no, look at that roll away.
He caught that little hump on the top of the hill with a pretty strong hyzer angle and a sharper disc. Got a big skip.
All right, Joona up for his putt. Look at how uphill that is. Sit. Okay.
The height was good.
It is, but you're still left with about 6 meters now on a death putt once again. Oh, sit down, though. That's the one thing you don't want. Okay. It stayed up on the first tier. That's good.
And he's up again on 18. You see the rain falling, the focus in his eyes. The basket's right there. Good par save for Jesse. And the end of his first round, he will be sitting at even. He had some great shots today, but in the tricky conditions, just couldn't quite put together all the birdies that he wanted. Speaking of birdies, Joonas with a great tee shot landing softly gets 3 in a row on 16, 17, and 18 to go 3 under.
And I just want to put it out there that +1 over par, sat at an even 1,000 rated round. Just so we're all on the same page of what they're dealing with here. So, yeah. -3, -6, that's putting in work.
That is a serious round put together. Joona, I believe only bogeying hole 1, had a bogey-free streak from holes 2 to 18, putting together 7 birdies. Great finish by him to be leading this feature card.
Oh yeah, and let's take a look here. Finishing us out, round 1, Jesse coming in at nice even. Joona -6, hot as heck. Daniel, great fight coming back, finishing -1, and Joonas as well. Nice solid birdies at the end.
But as we take a look at the standings, we see Teemu Talikainen at 7 under. Joonas 6 under, putting him in a clean second place. Rasmus Saukoripi at 5 under in third, and Lukas Horokanen 4 under in fourth. The top 4 positions have their sole leaders, with many players tied for 5th below them. The battle is heating up. Thank you for joining us on this round 1 coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in round 2.